This is unprecedented. I'm Adam Klein, winner of Survivor Millennials vs. Generation X. Super duper fans, gather round. It's time for another installment of Survivor Talk with D&D.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 320th episode of Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwaine. I know, isn't that crazy? I'm Dwaine. I'm here with David, and we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. We are joined tonight by a Survivor Talk favorite, and I'm not just saying that because she's on the air. Every single time we've had her on, we have absolutely had a blast. The Queen of Ponderosa, Chaos Kass McQuillen. Hello, Cass.
Hey, guys. Happy to be here. Sad you're going off the air, but...
Well, thank you.
We all have things to do other than Survivor, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We thank you because we weren't planning on having people on these last 4 or 5 episodes. And you were gracious enough to say, hey, you want me to come on a penultimate episode and let's talk about stuff? And I was like, yeah, hello. Why not?
Yeah. It's like, guess what, David? We're not going guest free.
Yeah, we're not going guest free. That's right.
Cass called. We are not going guest free.
No, Cass called. That's right.
But you've been having other guests.
Well, we decided to go ahead and ask a couple people. So we had Rob let us borrow Jessica Lewis, which was very nice of him. And then we had Kelly Wentworth on. And next week we have Steve Helling and Andy Baker.
Oh, nice.
Kind of the two guys that were with us a long time and did a lot of stuff with us.
Yeah, Andy was asking me about, I guess it's not Durham Warriors anymore, but their thing this summer.
Survival Challenge.
The Survival Challenge?
Yeah.
That is really fun, Cass. If you ever have an opportunity to do it, I would do it. I know.
Yeah, it's always just like bad timing for me.
Yeah, it was for me too. I wanted to play, but it was never when I could. So,
well, they're moving to where, Indiana or Illinois?
David knows. Where are they moving to, David?
Macomb, Illinois. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like a western part.
Yep. So Cass also inspired my song parody, Chaos Kass, and I'm only going to play the chorus. Do you mind listening to the chorus?
Let's hear it. Let's hear what you got.
Here we go.
It's time to bring out Chaos Kass, to take things up and show my sass. No one knows how dangerous I am, but tonight they all will see. This time I brought out Chaos Kass, made you look like you were middle class. As your torch was snubbed, you couldn't grasp how I took your crown and crowned me. Yeah, you crowned me. Yeah, you crowned me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chaos Kass, to the tune of
that was
Wrecking
awesome.
Ball. I actually had like verses and everything.
There's some other word that rhymes with Cass that I'm surprised you didn't use, but
family friendly.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about that word, Dwaine.
If Cass had written it, it would have definitely had that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact,
I've heard it all. Trust me.
there was one line in there where I thought I definitely could have used that word, but anyway. So as we hang up our Survivor Talk hats, we have tonight with Cass, next week with Steve Helling and Andy Baker for our Survivor Talk finale. That'll be fun. Tonight we are discussing episode 13 of Survivor Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, the Survivor Devil. Now, David, Cass had something pretty cool happen last night. You know how Cass isn't a big PTA member, right? She's a fan of them. She's just not a member, right?
Yeah.
She allowed them to auction a night at her house, and they watched Survivor together. Isn't that cool?
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people bid on it and won, and we watched Survivor. We called up, we kind of drunk dialed Joe and
Nice.
and Mike Holloway and Abby Maria and a few people.
Nice. Abby, wow.
Yeah, they got a pretty good
Boy,
deal, I think.
That's pretty awesome because these were big Survivor like geeks type of people, really love Survivor, super fans.
Well, what's interesting is their kids don't even go to my kids' school. they heard about it and outbid the people.
That's awesome.
They're not even in our district.
Wow.
Like they're still in Lubbock, but the guy heard about it and he said he'd seen me around town.
Yeah. So you like raised more money in one event than they've raised all last year, probably.
Yeah, I don't ever have to sell wrapping paper.
And it came from outside the school district. That's cool.
Even more cool.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah.
So
what do you say?
They were super nice people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I'm sure, I mean, I can just imagine what a great hostess you would be. So that's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, I actually made them the same meal that I won at auction since they won like dinner with me.
Yeah.
So I made them like Philly cheesesteak sandwiches and brownies.
Did you let them play the game or the puzzle? Did you show them the puzzle?
Yeah, they saw it and I took it apart a little, but they didn't want to do it. They were intimidated.
Yeah, well, they're not.
That's the puzzle that was touched by Cass. I don't want to mess anything up.
I can't touch this.
Probes probably touched it.
But it was fun. They got to, see tree mail and all the stuff. I've got lots of stuff. So
did they get pictures next to
go ahead.
probes? They get pictures next to your probes that you normally have up behind you?
Yeah, I've got Probst was in the game room and
Nice.
So watching Survivor now as a two-time former player, how different is it watching it now as that instead of just a fan? Do you critique things more? Do you call out things more?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you notice. I just know what to look for now, with things. And then I hate the idols. You just know production's giving people idols and stuff.
Is it obvious to you when they say, we didn't find one yesterday, we tracked him all day yesterday, we're done following him, and that's when you can hear production say they're done, go ahead and put it out there now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do things like that jump out at you like they do me?
Yeah. And that irks me, especially when it's the same people getting idols all the time.
Yeah.
Like you have like Joe walk by the marker 10 times and then all of a sudden he's got the idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just smacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very inorganic.
So what do you say we get to it? Here we go. There, I just had to at least play that. All right, here we go. I got to follow my notes at least somewhat, right?
Now Dwaine knows where he is in the notes. Okay.
Yeah, now I know where I'm at. I have some funny stuff to say about the whole idol thing later on in the show whenever we get to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to talk through the episode, but rabbits are freely chased. And how funny, how ironic that I would say rabbits are chased. Okay. Anyway, initial thoughts. I have an initial thought. What, did you not get that one? Did you not get it?
No, I just walked in my house about 8 minutes ago, so no, I'm not.
All right.
Straight here for it.
I am really liking Ben. He's doing whatever it takes to stay in the game, and I'm loving it. He continues to outplay everybody. And I think if he makes it to Final 3, if he can survive and make it to Final 3, he's got one heck of a resume. Am I wrong?
I almost feel like he's being like Ty, though, where he's going to get to the end and find people are not charmed by him. If he gets to the end, because he's burned every bridge.
But they were burning him. I mean, he has nothing to do, but
these are new players. New players are bitter.
But when you're backed against a wall, you have to play hard. You know?
Plus he's getting all those idols.
Yeah.
Like that always doesn't sit well with me. When I see someone get more than 2 or 3 idols, it's time for them to not be getting any help.
Yeah.
So
And I
don't know what the talk is. I haven't watched Ponderosa.
Right.
So,
well, I know Joe has mad respect for him just based on, according to the edit, based on his reaction to some stuff that Ben did during Tribal. He seemed to like what he did.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like he's got a cheering squad in the jury right now because they know his head's on the block. They know that he's the number one guy that needs to go. But every time he finds a way to stay, they're like, he did it to him again. He stayed in the game.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they respect the other people like they do the way he's playing the game.
Well, yeah, he's definitely getting that Mike Holloway thing where, he's backed up against the wall, but he's not winning challenges. He's getting idols. And
not at all. Yeah.
You have Chrissy coming in, and now she's won 2 individuals.
That's true.
I mean, you have to give some respect to that.
Yeah, but then she's got
but nobody likes her. Just seems like nobody's coming out here talking nice things about Chrissy.
Yeah, okay. If I'm in the middle of a game and somebody like tattletales on me, right? I think what he just did is very unsportsmanship. Really, just chill out. It's a game of Survivor. There's no unsportsmanlike conduct. We do whatever we want to do.
I just want her to make someone speak llama. You know,
there you go. Yeah.
The thing is, I think what's off-putting about her is she's so clinical, you know, in her how she describes what's going on, and I don't think that sits well with people. It's not like humorous, and she's having fun, clearly.
Yes,
but I think her personality is just more like an actuary. Or, you know, she's by the book and the numbers, and she's very professional.
Right.
And I think at this stage of Survivor, everyone's on edge, and that doesn't sit well. I mean, I got criticized a lot for always grinning and just not ever losing, you know, just being like, whoa, and making people speak llama or go nuts.
Yeah.
And that part of that was that I was calm all the time. So I think I sympathize with her. I think it's a tough role to be in because it's almost like she's not allowed to control the game, but she's controlling it, and everybody's mad at her because she's playing very well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
The best game out there, in my opinion.
There was just a couple episodes where she seemed to kind of fall off the horse, but she got back on it. You know.
Well, she and Ben have been butting heads since they broke up.
Right.
So, I mean, that's our big conflict, and I think neither of them's going to win. So
there you go.
I think you're. I agree with you that I think Chrissy's actually playing the best game without idle assistance, but I think that the bridges she's burning are actually at camp, not so much at tribal. It seems like at camp she's saying things that turn people the wrong way or just turn people off. And I like the idea of getting rid of Ashley because Chrissy is now, like you said, the only person that's ever won an immunity challenge in that group. Nobody else has come close to winning an immunity challenge except for Devin, but he quit. So he technically didn't have one either, even though he's going out telling Ben he's not going to let him win. But it was Chrissy that did that. But I mean, I agree with her getting rid of Ashley. I was so frustrated by this episode. This is just that episode where you're watching your football team play and the quarterback goes back late in the game trying to win, and he just throws up a jump ball in the air for no reason. All you need is a field goal, and he's going to throw a ball up in the air for no reason. Every time they said, I'm betting my game that he's not going to find another idol.
I know.
Are you kidding me? You're going to bet $1 million that a guy that just pulled an idol out of thin air is not going to find another idol.
Exactly. Ashley sits there and says, he's out there looking for an idol. He's liable to find one. And I'm like, well, then why is your butt on the beach? You know, why aren't you and everybody else following every move he makes?
Because it's exhausting. And the thing that'll happen is production's going to give him an idol when he's off on a walk to go do a confessional or something. So once you are this stage in the game, unless you're going to tail someone all the time, they're still going to get those moments away.
Yeah.
And I really feel at this stage that the number of idols he's found, it's just too many.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always because he needs one. I would really like them to just do away with, you know, put your couple idols out, and when they're gone, they're gone.
Well, that's what they used to do, you know. They used to do that. It was like 2 idols in the whole game.
I like that they were trying to be unpredictable this season. I think Dwaine talked about it last week, how all the idols are different. I love that. I think that's a neat trick. But they want to be different, then don't be predictable. Because Ben sat there and said, one was just played, so one should be back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe don't put an idol back into the game. Let it be done.
Well,
they need to have a season with no idols. Just go back and have none.
Yeah. Well, you know
then
how
complain.
He knew there was an idol because while he was sleeping, production was underneath there going, I'm going to put an idol here tomorrow.
Yeah. I do. I'm so suspicious when these fan favorites or production favorites get idols late in the game. Just
and
so magically.
That's why I love doing a show with someone who doesn't care if they play again or not. Because they'll just say what they think. I love it, Cass.
Me.
Thank you. Thank you, Cass. Cass is like, yeah, you know production's doing that.
Well, you know, last week when he pulled out that idol, they cut out what he actually said was, when you guys pulled me away to read my letters privately, I found that first So that idol was for her, my wife, and this idol, the fake one, I'm taking home. So
yeah, man.
And the thing is, when there's one person at the bottom, they're at the bottom for a reason. Either they're the last person of their tribe that's stuck with the other tribe, and that's understandable, or there's somebody that's put their head on the chopping block, like Ben has done by his social game and by his dominance and stuff and by his work. And there's a reason they're there. And there's a reason other people are not there. It's because they played a different game. Ben could have worked his way out of being on the chopping block, I think. I think he's smart enough and tricky enough. And just like Mike's nowhere near the chopping block right now, even though he's the one healer left. But I just hate, and it's tough because I like Ben. I like how hard he's playing. I like that he is walking 24/7 looking for idols. So I kind of like the fact he has a sliver of a chance to cause a ruckus or cause chaos. But this is just almost too blatant, and it's too. It just turns my stomach to know that he talks about finding an idol in the first 5 minutes of the episode. I'm like, well, he's going to find an idol and he's going to control. All over again. Okay,
well now, David, you say you feel like he should have been, or that he could have found a way in. Well, he found the weakest link, and that was Ashley, because Devin had just, put the hand to her face and didn't allow her to come with them on the reward, and she had nothing of it. So what was his way in? What's the open door? Where's the crack?
Fair question. Where he suddenly split into the Mike Holloway character was when he broke with Lauren and Devin and Ashley. And if he suspected that of them, to me, he shouldn't have flipped on them. He should have found a way to work with them and not go against them. I like the way he came back this episode right at the very beginning. Said, hey, no hard feeling, guys, that you all voted for me. I'm just trying to stay in the game. That was a totally different guy from last week that came back, And then I liked him at Tribal saying, hey, I've got this idol. I'm going to play it. And I like that he played it ahead of time because it caused them to turn before they even voted. And then he said, hey, do you want to go back to camp with me? Tell me who you want to vote for. Do you want to go back to camp with me? It's just a little too late for that now because he's still going to be on the chopping block. To me, he has to be because everybody knows he's going to win if he gets there.
Yeah.
But he's on the bottom for a reason. And I'm sorry, production, he's on the bottom. They get voted out because they're on the bottom. There's a reason people are not on the bottom because they played a different game. Like Chrissy said at that reward, we've all played different games. So we all, bring something different. I'm sorry, but he should have played a different game. Stop giving him advantages to get back into the game when he's put himself on the bottom. Sorry, that's just me. And I like Ben. I hate saying that, but this episode turned my stomach. I'm sorry, it just did.
Okay, so Cass, if production is theoretically or whatever helping him find idols, then who do they? I guess they want him to win, right? Is that kind of what we're saying? Who doesn't want the
veteran guy who's had to suffer through the story arc he's had with the PTSD and the bamboo in the fire and
the great wife testimony?
They've been playing that
family man. Yeah, I mean he's excellent for middle America, the average casual viewer. Yeah. Although I don't know, I think some people are put off by him right now.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't think it's his fault that CBS is putting so much emphasis on his Marine, his time of duty and the post-traumatic syndrome and things like that. These are things you're going to talk about, but CBS is the one that chooses what to show, and they're playing that up. They really are. They
know who their viewers are.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, when they get back to camp after Tribal, at the very beginning of the show, and Ryan says, let's see, was it Ryan or Mike that said, that might have been better than my idol play? Wasn't that Mike?
I think it was Mike.
And was that just not the most hilarious thing for him to say?
Mike just has I would love to go hang out with Mike. I think he'd be a blast.
Well, yeah, of course. He'd be incredibly funny.
He's definitely probably making it to the end because I guess Joe might vote for him.
Yeah.
As one of the coconuts. But I don't think he can win the game. I'd be really shocked.
He does because he's seeing a completely different game than what we're seeing.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah. He's in his own universe out there. And I think it happens though. Everyone, you get to this point, you're within a week of winning and you really think you can win. Every person out there, I guarantee you, is like, oh my God, I'm going to win. For whatever reason, because it's all their perception. Right. And they look out and there's people on the jury, there's the pre-jury people, you start to think, my gosh, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm days away. And it inflates your ego and it twists your perception of what's really going on.
That's funny because we've gotten that from Devin. Devin's talked about what he needs to do to win. We've kind of gotten it from Chrissy. We haven't gotten anything from Ryan except reactions to being blindsided or just people playing idols. And we've kind of gotten it from Mike, but he's talking about something that seems like that's not going on. You know, what he sees the game going to is not going to happen. We don't get it from Ben because everybody else is giving it to us about Ben. Everybody's telling us that Ben's going to win. So Ben doesn't have to give his story, but Devin is starting to talk a resume, and I think Chrissy is too. But yeah, Mike's saying that at the beginning. It's like, really?
Yeah.
He's had a lot of little oddball moments, you know, just I find them endearing, but maybe if I were out there playing, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
And therefore you want to take him to the end.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, David, you brought up Devin, and even from the very beginning, I think maybe 2 or 3 times this episode, he showed a side of himself that we haven't really seen. He showed some of his confidence is playing out in being kind of, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but kind of like you better be glad you won. Let's see. No, you should have voted me out because I'm not going to let you win immunity. And then later on, he said other things kind of like that. He's kind of getting cocky, you know?
Do you think that's him trying to put himself on the same level as Ben? I thought about that too. He really showed a different, like just what you said, he showed a different side this week.
Yeah.
But he kind of got called out. I'm not going to let you win, even though I'm going to be last in every leg of the immunity challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not going to let you win, and I'm going to control this. And he just seemed lost. And then Ashley just ignores him on the way out of tribal, and it's like he's got a little chip knocked off his shoulder there.
Oh,
whereas
okay.
Ben's sitting there happy.
He goes to hug. Yeah, see ya. Oh, okay.
The jury saw that. So.
Yeah. Vader Girl calls it arrogance. Basically, he's kind of showing arrogance. Go ahead, Cass.
Well, I think, too, now you've got this dynamic where you have all these men there, right? And they're all, like, trying to alpha it up at this point. Mike's not going to do that, and Ryan's not going to do that. So you've got Ben and Devin as kind of the 2 pack leaders that I think we're going to see that play out, and they're going to set them up to have a standoff probably.
Yeah.
So I don't think both of them will be in the final 3.
If Ben goes and then Devin goes, yes, I got rid of Ben. And all of a sudden he's looking at 3 people like, yep, and we're going to get rid of you.
Yeah.
What does he think's going to happen when Ben's gone?
Well, he'll try to win immunity, you know.
Yeah.
I think
but really, who's he up against? Ryan and
Chrissy.
Mike?
He's got Chrissy.
Chrissy's good.
That's right. If there's a puzzle at the end, she's got a shot.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Well, there's probably going to be a puzzle at the end. It's like, why don't you? Well,
I don't know. Do you think Chrissy will make the final 3?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, probably.
I think she was the most in control in this episode than she's probably been in a while. I mean, she got exactly what she wanted.
Everybody's doing what she says. I mean, Devin just wilted like a dead flower under her command at the reward challenge.
But Devin is kind of, he has a close relationship with his mom and stuff, as we saw in the family visit. So maybe it's like, maybe there's something more going on there in terms of their relationship where he trusts her.
That's funny because Chrissy said early on that when she and Ryan finally connected, I think he said, you remind me of my mom or something, or maybe she said, I might remind him of his mom, and maybe he wants to play with his mom. And now you're mentioning that about Devin.
Yeah.
Maybe he sees the same thing.
And Ryan's was tight with Devin. So, those 3 could be our 3 core right now, where Mike's just kind of like, ho, and everybody's against Ben.
Mike's like, I don't understand why they wouldn't take me on that reward.
Yeah. It's like, what world are you in? What game are you watching?
Is he turning into a Debbie character?
I don't know, maybe.
Like a coach, Debbie, Philip Shepard, kind of in their own world there.
Yeah.
They're not following the script. They're not following the right path.
Yes. Can we just take 5 minutes and just vent?
Yeah.
And then he's the only one who vents. And everybody else kind of okay. Go ahead, Mike.
Ben's like, I'm fine. I just want you guys to start doing it so I can start picking some holes in your group.
And then Ashley's sitting there going, I actually have a valid reason to be upset. But go ahead, Mike.
Oh, poor Mike.
Do you think that the people that are, let's see, Vader Girl said in the chat room that the jury laughed at Devin. Do you have a feeling that he played up his surfer dude part so much that now that he's being kind of cocky and everything, that it seems fake? It seems pushed.
No, I think that that's because Ashley got voted out. And I mean, I don't know who likes Devin on the jury. JP, Desi, none of them were really close with him.
Ashley did say I saw the first 5 minutes of her Ponderosa. She said, I can't fault Devin because I probably would have done the same thing if the opportunity came up. So I understand why he did what he did, and she's ready to go eat. But yeah, because they were like Vader Girl saying in the chat room, they were laughing at Devin.
Yeah.
They enjoyed making fun of what he was doing. And then Ben called him out. When you get called out, I would think in Survivor, it's kind of a challenge. And if you back down from the challenge, you're shown as weak. I'm not going to tell you what I've done. Well, you're going to tell me eventually if I'm sitting over there. Yeah. You might as well tell us now. And he's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, Ben's like, they don't want to talk. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to make big moves. I've made big moves. What big moves? Well, I'm not going to tell you what. It's kind of like, defend yourself, dude. Speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how old is he? And then you got Ben. Ben would probably be somewhat intimidating.
Yeah, I would think
so. So.
Yep, I agree.
But I'm just thinking about the jury, and I don't think Devin really has any close relationships with any of those people other than Ashley. I don't think he was buddies with JP or Desi or Cole.
He might get a vote from Lauren, depending on who the other two are.
Except he voted Lauren out, didn't he?
He did, but no, Ben took Lauren out with one vote.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I mean, he could. It depends on who else is there, because she had a relationship with Mike, who did not vote her out, and she probably didn't. I don't think she had anything with Chrissy, so I think she would vote for Devin or Mike. Lauren would.
Who was it that he dumped Ryan for? I don't remember.
Ben.
Okay, all right.
I think it was Ben and Lauren and Ashley. Yeah, he went with them instead of Ryan.
Yes, that's right. Hey, Cass, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Rian from Australia says, Cass, could Chrissy be like a, quote, naggy mom, unquote, at camp, and everyone's going along with it to pile on the dislike for her later?
I don't think she's a naggy mom. I just think she's like a professional out there. I don't think she's very warm to people.
No, she's definitely not warm. She's not empathetic.
Yeah. So I think that, while we seem to appreciate that, and like I always say, if a woman does it, then she's cold and she's
a bee.
She's a bee. But a guy behaving calculated and doing things and confronting people, such as Ben, is seen as taking charge of the game.
Yeah.
So it's such a tough role because people want you to be the mom, because everybody wants a mom out there.
She just doesn't seem like a mom figure to me. Go ahead.
No, she doesn't. But, I think she's playing a great game. I think she's playing kind of like Sarah did in Game Changers, just taking control and not being apologetic.
Right.
But I don't think she works on the social side enough.
Well, okay.
I learned that lesson. It's a tough lesson to learn. We'll see Chrissy again for sure.
So earlier. So I want your take on this. So earlier I mentioned how a couple of times she said, well, I just think that's inappropriate, or he's being a bad sportsman and things. Do you think that reflects well on her, or do you think that turns people off? Or is she doing that on, I just don't understand what that accomplishes.
I think that's just her personality and her way of venting. Like, I don't think she has like one of the greatest senses of humor or a lot of one-liners. I think she's so corporate, and it's carried over into the game, because we all know those people at work, right? Who are like, oh, well, that's inappropriate.
Yes.
Or, you're being a bad sport.
Do.
Yes.
Right. So that's, everyone has that person at work, and that's who Chrissy is, and that's who she is out there.
Yeah.
I think she goes to the final because people want to sit with her. I think they have a good feeling that she's not going to get a lot of votes. from the jury.
So who's going to win? I mean, because
Mike.
because we keep saying no one's going to win, but someone's going to win.
Well, Chrissy would probably get my vote because if she made it, because she's winning immunities, she's controlling the game.
Yeah, she is.
You know, she's not finding idols, and she's got Devin doing what she wants, and
Ryan's Ryan's he's been doing whatever she wants since they got back together or since they got together.
Yeah, so if she takes like Ryan and Mike or Ryan and Devin even, I think she can win because you can't argue against what she's done in the game.
Yeah.
Especially if she wins out immunities. That would be because she is, it's almost like she walks off, gets refreshed, and comes back and starts a conversation. She does not like, I know she's tired. I know she sleeps, but when she's in a conversation, she looks like she's ready to go to war. She just doesn't look tired. She doesn't look worn out.
Yeah.
And I wonder if people see that like, oh man, she's going to start a conversation and I'm about to fall asleep. I need to go eat some coconut or something, and she's ready to talk.
Yeah.
And that could be intimidating as well.
Well, let's talk about Chrissy and the reward challenge. So we'll talk about the reward challenge and get into Chrissy's decision because it was hers, not Devin's decision. Mm-hmm. So did you like the reward challenge, David? I'm a little jealous because on my seasons,
our reward was like a half a pizza delivered to the beach. Like we never had these go away and take a shower and have a pillow and eat a
sleep
meal
overnight. Yeah.
You know, I almost just want to go back and get voted out first so I can have a vacation in Fiji.
Yeah, really, because that's a beautiful. Oh my! I really feel like
Survivor owes me a really nice vacation.
Yeah, really. What a beautiful location! Oh my goodness, they could do it
and
there.
That Ponderosa, they don't have to shower where they sit on the toilet while they shower.
Yeah,
just saying.
So apparently, you had to sit on the toilet while you showered
in Cambodia. Yeah,
nice. So
I judge a challenge by how close it is at the end. And the fact that the two guys who I knew were going to get stuck together, Ryan and Mike, made it to the end and were tossing rings when the other ones were tossing rings.
Yeah, David definitely has conspiracy theories about challenges.
No, well,
you kind of do.
Yeah, but I love it when Probe says, we randomly selected, as in like, don't judge me by the teams you're about to see. So
if you put Ben and
I know that I agree they do. I understand they do.
Stuff.
Yeah. But it's funny that his expression is like, we randomly did this.
Yes.
So when you turn the camera around, don't get mad at me. They drew the rocks.
Right. Oh, by the way, David, Probst did his whole, 50 Shades of Survivor talk about all the
lamb and lobster.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yes, you're gonna love this. And it's like, Probst, chill.
See, now that I brought it up, it makes you sick now, doesn't it?
He's midlifing so hard with all that Botox and the Grecian formula.
Oh man.
I mean, he's like 40 something or 50 something, right? He's like 55, 56.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
So his birthday is right around mine. We're like 3 days apart.
Yeah.
But like a decade. I think he's having a hard time, much like Andrew Savage, his bestie. Just go gray. And I think America would love to see him just be a silver fox.
Are we one day going to see the ball cap go away and see the beanie cap come on, or
the beanie cap?
I don't know. I don't know how much they're hanging out. Cap?
So let's get to the decision. Do you? I realize they edited it so that it looks like Chrissy just said Ryan is the best person, and then Devin said okay. Is that what we think happened? And then if so, Devin just rolled over and just let her walk all over him. Why take Ryan?
Well,
Ryan,
you don't want to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, Chrissy though feels an affinity for Ryan because early on he gave her that advantage, right?
True, but
so they're pretty tight.
Yeah, but she's always playing the game, so you've got Ryan. So why not get what's wrong with getting Ashley and making sure that she stays with y'all?
Because Ashley was a threat.
Yeah.
So why take her and feed her and get her nourished for an immunity challenge?
Fair. Yes.
Why not take the guy, like I remember in Cagayan when Tony picked Trish to eat pizza, and I was like, why would you win a challenge? You should pick someone who can defeat Spencer, like me or Woo,
Right.
Instead of someone who can barely stand up and is not going to win.
Yeah.
So at that stage, I think you should be thinking when you're going to feed someone in the last week of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Who do I want to feed? I want to feed one of my buddies.
Right.
And you're not going to change your position. At this point, people know who they want to take.
Right.
So you don't want to give Ashley any advantage if you're planning to get rid of her.
Well, there you go. There's the answer.
I wonder what would have happened if they'd have been deadlocked, because Devin looked like he just, like Dwaine said, rolled over. Like I didn't think this was a great episode for Devin because between his arrogance and the fact that he said, okay, to Chrissy, and then Probst just immediately jumped on. Look, we watched the dailies. We know Devin and Ashley are close. Ashley, you've got to, your eyes just moved. You have to be upset about this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
But I think Devin and them, I think they realized Ashley was a big threat, like socially, physically strong. I mean, I think if Ashley would have got to the end, she would have beaten anybody there probably.
I think Devin has his close people, but if somebody gives a good reason why that close person shouldn't stay in the game, which is Ashley as a challenge threat, I think he's going to say, you know what, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just think his final three is molded by other people sometimes, but I think Chrissy's final three includes Ryan. No matter who else the third is, Ryan is there, and she wants to make sure that her and Ryan continue to vote together. So I agree it was a buddy choice.
Do you think that's her final three? Do you think that's who she wants in her final three?
I think she wants Ryan and Mike.
That's
I do too. I don't think she wants Devin. Yeah,
but I think she'll take Devin if she has to. You know.
Yeah. Well, let's see, because her other
like Ben's final three. I don't care. Whoever wants to go with me.
Yeah. Whoever.
Come on and lose.
Just can I be in the final three? Wow. Thanks, Probst. Are you really awesome? It's a possibility.
Well, there's these rumors of the Final Four twist that keeps some favorite in the game.
What David, have you heard about this twist rumor?
Only that there's a twist in the finale. Yeah,
well,
I don't know anything else about it.
Now, Cass thinks she knows what it is, so
I just read a thing that said at Final Four, the person who wins Final Four immunity gets to pick one other person to go to Final Three with them.
Whoa!
Wow,
that's crazy.
So
and production.
That's a way they're.
Production pays
and then,
that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Allegedly, the other two people have to do a fire making challenge.
So,
and that's how our final three is determined.
So CBS pays that person $100,000 to pick Ben.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Mike or Devin or
how crazy.
Maybe they go to Ryan and say you're a fan of the game. The best man should win. So take Ben.
Yeah.
Well,
a la Spencer.
Mike can beat anybody. So Mike doesn't care who he takes.
That's right.
He's going to beat anybody.
Mike
so he's going to take.
He's skunking everybody.
Mike's like, I want to beat the best. And right now, Ben's the best. But although every week we hear Mike talk about, since pregame, Mike has called Ben out as the biggest threat out there. Yeah. Pre-game, he called him out as that. So I can't see him doing that. But at the same time, what do you care who you pick, Mike? Just pick Ben. You're going to beat him probably, right? Oh, yeah, I'm going to beat anybody. Don't underestimate Dr. Mike.
That's right.
So. But wait a minute. That means Mike wins immunity. Hold on. Never mind.
I mean, this many seasons in, doesn't everybody know you don't take like the hero, the Marine, the firefighter,
That's
the
right.
school teacher. You just don't take them to the end.
So that means
take the actuary and the urologist,
yeah.
So that means Chrissy wins. She picks Ryan. Mike and Ben have to do a fire making, and Mike can't even get the sticks together, so Ben wins by making fire, and Ben goes to the final three and wins.
Yeah,
sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
but
unless he goes out at final 5.
Back to Cass's point about how you don't take the fireman and you don't take the person with the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't remember his name, but he waited to bring up his wife having a baby and all that kind of stuff until
Jeremy.
The final. Until the final 3. Then he brings it out.
Jeremy was winning before he even said that.
But still,
he wanted like final 9.
But still, he didn't bring it out early.
At the merge, he got mad at me because I said, "You're going to win this game, Jeremy. You're playing so well," and he got really mad. And you could see his path when you were playing. He had so many people under his thumb, but he was likable. which is hard to do. It's hard to play that game that well.
What's funny is that Ben used to be likable. They used to talk about how nice a person he was early on, and all of a sudden when the 4 got together and then the 4 broke up, then we're getting the different aggressive Ben, the Mike Holloway playing from behind but always having an advantage.
Yeah. He has to fight.
Yeah.
He has to fight to win.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, do we want Ben just sitting back and going, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be gone? No, we want Ben to fight. I want Ben to fight for this.
I want Ben to get voted out because I'm tired of these idols.
I do too. And but if there's a Ben like Dwaine, sorry, I'm cutting you off because I can't hear you. But because if there's a Ben that doesn't want to fight, that's the person they're not taking on confessionals and letter reads to go find down these weird paths with these different signs. They want somebody like Ben to find these idols and cause chaos.
Yeah. And Ryan has like disappeared. He was our narrator early on.
Yeah.
And we have not seen or heard anything from him.
He gets the reaction shots of, wow, that was another blindside.
Yeah.
And thanks, guys.
But part of it, I think, is he's so emaciated. Like, he's so skinny.
Oh, yeah.
That he's probably in such bad shape mentally because he doesn't have anything to live off of, you know?
Yeah.
And that just wears you down.
The two confessionals we've gotten from him are, this was the best day ever. I got to spend it with my dad. This was the best reward ever. Even though I got my dad last time, now I get this reward and it's just the best thing ever. I mean, that's what we're getting from the guy that was so interesting from the beginning and so likable at the start.
I think he just hit his wall and he's just trudging along. And that happens to people out there.
Yeah.
You know, they just get to there's a lot of players who can't, after about day 21, you can just see it. They're just done. 3 weeks of that, starving, and they're just trudging through, not really aware, because you lose your faculties a little.
Yeah.
And I know it's easy, and I say this every season, it's easy to sit back and say, why are you giving up? Why aren't you following him all the way every day?
Right.
And Survivor's a 39-day game. It's not a 21-day game, and you take 18 days off. It's a 39-day game. And I know that's easy for me to say, so I'll admit that, but if the people, it's like it's in any game, even in especially games that come down to the end, who wants it more when you're out of gas? Because it's how and I'm going to say this word. I'm going to say the soccer word. I know it's a bad word in this podcast, but I coach my team. We run, and it says the team running at the end has the best chance of winning the game.
That's true. Same in basketball.
Yeah.
That's how our high school team wins all the time. I think we're undefeated right now, and it's because second half they can't keep up with us.
Yeah,
because we have all the stamina.
If you're going to play, and Survivor is that way. You look at some of these winners, and they are on the whole game. Like Tony, that guy didn't sleep for 39 days.
Right.
Sarah seemed the same way.
Well, Sarah had a lot of, she was smart. She talked to a lot of people before she went out there. She knew what she did wrong.
She kicked
She
butt,
really
man.
deserved to win because she really corrected 110%.
That was a great game to watch. I mean, that was such a good game to watch. Sarah.
Yeah. I was super happy that she won because it proved me right that I should have gotten rid of her at the merge.
Yeah. Yeah. It proved you
dangerous.
right. Also proved you right when you came on our show pregame and just said, I'm not going to say anything, but Sarah has a really good shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I mean, I didn't
good
know
prediction
she for
there,
sure
I
won,
guess.
but
all right. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Just like production doesn't show them where idols are. I understand.
So just for clarification, if you get picked to go on a reward with 2 other people and there's 6 people left and they ask you to be in their final 3, are you agreeing or are you saying, no, I think I've got better options?
You always agree to any proposal.
Always. Or you say, let me see. Hold on. I wrote this down. Wow. In the back of my head, I was thinking of working with you and Ryan. Wow. Yeah. Chrissy says we could be final 3, and he goes, wow. And then he does that whole line, in the back of my head.
And Chrissy goes, did you just say that?
Yeah.
Did that just come out of your mouth?
Yeah. Wow.
That was funny.
Oh, man. So really, after the reward, we don't have a whole lot except Chrissy talking about how Ben is good but isn't attached to anyone, but Ashley has better relationships. So that's why she wants Ashley out. And, of course, also because of the threat to win challenges.
I was encouraged by Mike and Ashley's attitudes during the opposite reward when they weren't on reward. They're with Ben, and Ben's like, well, who are y'all thinking?
Yeah.
Mike's like, you.
Yeah,
After you?
Yeah, you mean after you?
Yeah.
Ben's like, oh, crud.
And then Ashley's like, well, of course, everything you're going to tell me is going to be right because you don't want to go anywhere, but you're the biggest threat. So I was kind of glad at that we got to see that kind of debate they were putting up against him.
You know, okay, there was this part where she agrees with him, but because he says it, now she doesn't agree with him or something like that. She's like, I know he's telling the truth, but since it's coming from him, it's not true. I'm like, what? It is true. You know,
that's Ashley hitting the mental wall.
Yeah.
When she starts saying that.
Yeah. Wow. So anyway, let's see.
Yeah. Well, like I said, she was my pick to win. So, and I was really rooting for Lauren.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for now. I'm not really rooting for anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
I just feel like I don't even care.
For me, whenever Lauren went out, it's like, okay, whoever wins, wins. I would have loved to have seen Lauren win. But as you and I said before we got on the air, as soon as the game became where she had to deal with strategy, she hit her wall. You know, she just couldn't deal with that. It's like Kass said ahead of the show, she should have given him a fake shell. Would accomplish the same thing. And how stupid he would have. And she didn't even bring the leather thing with her. She didn't bring her special advantage thing.
She brought it with her, but she made up a lie for empathy and decided to go with it.
Okay.
And the problem was she couldn't think past it to use it because she could have flipped her vote and used it to vote out Chrissy or somebody. So she claims in her exit interview, she says she had it, but she thought she would get more sympathy if she told him she didn't. And it worked. She got everybody to vote with her, but Ben pulled an idol out.
Yeah.
And it went the other way.
An idol?
Yeah.
Ben had an idol?
It was in thin air, and he pulled it.
Production was sitting behind him and went, poke, poke, poke. Here, play this.
But you know what? Rarely does someone like that go find another idol. I mean, come on, really? They're going to find a second idol? Nobody has ever found a second idol in Survivor.
And not only that, it was incredibly easy to find. It just happened to be under where he lays in the shelter. Did you notice that? They put an X where it was under the shelter, and it just happened to be where he lays in the shelter because that's where he was on
Chrissy,
that morning.
Ben, they put the names on the
They're like, how crazy was that? I mean, it was incredibly easy. Although it was not as easy, Kass, as Lauren's shell. You know, we were talking with Kelly.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, we were talking with Kelly last week. The first one to ever deal with this thing, right? Where you find the idol at a challenge. That was one of the best things to watch was her figuring out how to get that idol. This one, Lauren just goes there and goes, oh, okay, there it is. Picks it up. They even had him sit down.
They didn't want to make it too hard for her.
Yeah, apparently not.
You know.
It was Lauren. Yeah. So,
and then they're like, what? We gave her the idol, and now she gives it away. What can we do with her? Anyway.
Well, you want idols in the hands of people that are going to cause the most chaos with them. You know, you want idols in those people's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why Mike threw it in the fire.
I know.
I mean, that was just so... It's almost like he's watching himself play and trying and like seeing it through his 10-year-old's eyes.
Yeah.
And that's how his perception of the game is like really his kid's perception.
Huh.
Because if you think about it, that's how he watches Survivor with his family.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's out there as a father, like trying to please his family probably. And he's thinking, oh, this is going to be great on TV. I'm going to throw this away. Instead of thinking about the game, he's thinking about how it's going to look. Because he mentions that a lot about, oh, my kids are going to see this or, you know.
Yeah. I've waited 15 years to throw this shell, a half of an idol, into the fire. 15 years I've waited to do that. Really?
It was so anticlimactic, too. He's just like, and then everybody's like, what?
Yeah, because no one's, I mean, why do you throw an idol in the fire? Other than,
so I think he's playing like a fourth grader.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah. I did get a kick out of him saying something about this is between me, keeping me from getting my $1 million. And I thought, you have $1 million. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, so we know that Mike and Chrissy probably both have money.
Right.
And that does come into play at the jury house. You go, oh,
Sure.
who needs it?
Yeah.
You know, Devin, he doesn't need it. He's a young kid. Ryan doesn't need it.
Yeah.
You know, they're not like family people.
Yeah.
So
Ben needs it.
Ben could definitely use it.
Who needs the money? Ben needs the
needs
money.
it.
Right. Ryan probably could use it. I mean, fair enough. I mean, anybody can use it.
He's just faded so much from the show that I just don't see where.
Yeah, they can't build a story
they're
up for
going
him,
with him.
in one episode.
Whenever
I
he
think
gets,
they tried to make him a Spencer type to start with,
yeah,
but he really faded. He really fizzled out. And
Well,
I
he
think
probably
it's
had the
what we
best
saw.
confessionals. Yeah, he probably had the best reactions, like you
Yeah.
said, the best narration. And
Yeah.
now Mike's got a neat narration because he's narrating something that we're not seeing.
yeah.
But he still got. He was my pick for most confessionals, but Chrissy was my pick to win because I loved how smart she was in the beginning. I just obviously didn't know how the game was going to go, but yeah, you're right. Ryan just disappeared. Now Mike's shown up after the merge, but he's talking about stuff that throwing shells in the fire,
Right.
for some reason. But
What a big move.
it's weird.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think production's struggling because they don't have a good narrator out there.
Yeah.
You know, like these people left, or none of them are really dynamic. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ben's fun
I
to
didn't
listen
like-
to, though.
Yeah, I mean Ben, but you can only show so much Ben, right?
Right. Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. I don't particularly care for Devin's confessionals. Ryan's basically just saying, we lost. Now what do I do? Chrissy, I don't care for hers. Mike's are humorous. You know, I mean, but there's really nobody that's just like you said. There's nobody to
Yeah.
narrate the
So
story.
this finale could be pretty flat because of that.
A flat finale.
Probst calls it one of the best finales ever.
A freaking flat finale.
That's because there's a twist wherein Ben gets guaranteed
Yes.
in. You know.
Yes. We,
So
for the first time ever, at the last minute, put in a twist.
well, I know in Cagayan at Final Four, they were trying to get me to vote Woo so that Woo and Spencer would have a fire off.
Wait.
Like have to make fire.
Production was trying to get you to do that?
Yeah, they were like, how cool would that be if there was, and I was like, I don't want to sit here for 4 hours because neither of them knows how to make a fire. And it would just be horrific, you know? And I just told them, I was like, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
We know who we want to go home.
And they're like, oh, come on.
And they were like, oh, it'd be so cool, wouldn't it? And I'm like, not for me, because I'd have to sit there while watching Spencer fumble.
Wow.
And Woo.
Yeah, can I have a
neither of
pillow?
them.
Can I have a pillow and a blanket while this is going on? Sure, I'll sit for that.
Okay, so if they're
What's
doing
in
that,
it for me?
yeah. So if they're doing that, who is easily manipulated? Devin, Ryan, Mike. If they're saying that kind of stuff to them, then they're shaping the game.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
You waited 15 years to do something. Why wouldn't you want to beat the strongest player
Yeah.
out here? The guy you've called the most intimidating. Why wouldn't you want to beat him?
Production probably said, you know how cool it would be if you got up and threw that shell in the fire.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Well, surely they would ask that question. What are you going to do with that when you get to tribal? Are you going to give it back to Lauren? You're going to keep it for a souvenir, or were you going to do something dramatic with it? What
Yeah.
are you going to do with it? Yeah, but I could see them asking that.
Were you going to do something that'll make TV?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you did that too fast. Can you pick it out of the fire and do it again?
Yeah. Here's another shell, Mike. You need to throw it with a little more force.
He probably missed the fire the first
Yeah,
time.
he did. Yeah. Lauren gets up and goes and grabs it. Yeah. That'd be awesome. I was going to say, Ryan doesn't make the final three. They're going to have him on the jury with an IV hooked up to him. That's what's going to happen. He's going to come in, with and just kind of walking along with his IV thing and sit down and have that IV going on. You see his
I was
little
happy
heart.
he got picked for the reward so he could eat.
Yeah.
Man.
He's pretty skinny. So
He-
So what
He's
was your
dangerously
reaction,
skinny.
Cass, when his heart was beating out of his chest
Oh.
during that challenge? I know it made Dwaine chill.
Very queasy.
I don't like to see, I need Ryan to be like, I mean, he's so skinny.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, He's too skinny. Now, there won't be any more idols, obviously, because you can only play idols till Final 6.
I'm sure there'll be one more.
Yeah, there's one more because there's Final 5 is the
there's
last
one
time.
more.
Oh, you can play the
Final
Final.
5.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's probably a super idol, much like Tony's,
Oh, my
that
goodness.
Ben will find that can be played after the votes.
Yeah.
I mean, I get so jaded with this now because every season it's kind of the same. Oh, look.
Okay.
Jeremy got an idol. Oh, he's got 2. Oh, Wentworth's got 2. Oh.
So what'd you do last night when you're watching this show? Did you kind of like jade the poor people who were watching it with you? Or did you kind of,
Well, no, at the beginning, I said, right at the beginning when they're talking about him finding another idol, I'm like, oh, well, guess who's finding an idol?
Yeah.
And then I told him, watch the scene. It's not going to be organic. We're not going to actually see him find it. We're going to see a chopped up version.
Right.
So.
Yeah. What they didn't show us was his hand getting stuck.
What they didn't show us was we're going to take everybody away for confessionals except for Ben.
Yes.
So why don't everybody get up? We'll go for a quick
And then
walk.
we're going to point the camera right at the idol until he notices it.
Yes. It's like I said earlier, the night before, the guy's laying underneath the thing going, right here, tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
His face is in the hole. Put your hand through this hole.
You are dreaming of an idol. I'm dreaming tonight of an idol.
Even Ben says it. What does he say? He says, no way, no way, no way. I'm like, yeah, exactly. No way that you found another idol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone looks for idols. So
well,
it always is crazy to me.
And what's funny is Mike's like, I've looked all over this island. There is no idol, right? There's no way he's going to find an idol. That's,
And this is not a slight on Ben because Ben's doing the right thing with the way he's playing. I think he's playing really well, but it's just frustrating. So I don't want Ben, if he hears this, he probably won't, to think that we're picking on him. It's not him, but he's doing the right thing, but it's just frustrating.
It's just the way the game is these days,
Yeah.
And I would love it if they would have given Mike an idol. That would be awesome.
He'd have thrown it in the
like
fire.
randomly play it on Ryan or something. He'd be like, I'm going to save my buddy.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'm not even on the block. I have immunity.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it on someone who had immunity.
I'm going to play it on Chrissy. She has a necklace.
Yeah.
He's going to play it on Ben because that's going to be his big move to show that he can beat Ben. Is to play it on Ben.
No, my big move is to give Chrissy double immunity. I'm going to play my idol on Chrissy, so she has double immunity.
Chrissy, I'm going to give you this idol, and you give me the necklace.
Yes.
That'll be a first.
That'll be.
I'll make history.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, Ben.
But, I mean, I was really enjoying this cast, though, at the beginning, but I don't know.
Yeah.
This end, I'm not looking forward to it. And whenever Jeff hypes a finale, it sucks.
Yeah. Well, he hypes all, but
I
he
was
always
too.
hypes.
I like the people in this group, which is why I had a hard time pulling for one. But it's funny that a lot of people I talk to, especially females that I talk to about this season, that tall guy with the dark hair. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're talking about Devin. Okay. Is that the guy? Yeah. They're all talking about Devin. They all love Devin, but I like a lot of different people. There's a lot of different personalities, but there's a lot of laid back, presuming things are going to go the way they're going to go. I like when people say, you know what, we got to break this up now. I like when they do that because they're taking the chances. They're making moves when things do unto them before they do unto you. Ashley got burned by it,
Hey, I'm a huge proponent of that.
Yes.
To make your move when you can and not wait.
Right.
Like everybody says, oh, you should have waited. No, I couldn't have waited.
Yeah.
Like you have a chance to make a move, and you don't know that it's going to be there in 3 days. So I appreciate that gameplay, but yeah, I feel like the ending, it's just kind of falling flat. And maybe it is the narration, just the lack of pizzazz.
Production's line this week was, say the most cliche thing you could say right now. Well, there's no way he finds a second idol. And, we've got 2 more tribals to vote him out that he's probably not going to win immunity. And then we get up to an immunity. This immunity challenge is name all the military ranks in the Navy.
Yeah.
Then Dwaine, then we're talking about conspiracy challenges.
Or if they do another one of those word things and it says Marines. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see if there really is a Final Four twist like that. And to me, that would just be, it would almost push it too far for me. Just the meddling. And this early on in the season, I just loved the cast. I was really, and maybe it's because pre-jury they got rid of so many great characters.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a cast.
They really aren't.
It was a cast full of great characters.
What's that?
It was a cast.
Yeah, but they all went on some great trip together.
Yeah, I know. They're all having a blast right now.
Did you listen to any pregame, like Josh Wigler's pregame interviews? They were very open, very relaxed, very personable. And to me, I think that aided to me like in this cast because I felt like I got to know them so much better. It was a very laid back interview. So I went into this season liking them already. I do think there was a lot of laid back playing going in before the merge. And once the merge hit, it did get interesting. But gosh, just so many idols and advantages all just piling on.
So is there anything else you want to say? I have one more thing before we get to feedback, because we have some really good feedback tonight. Is there anything else you want to bring up, Cass or David?
No. It'll probably come out of feedback. We'll probably talk about it then. One
of my favorite parts of the episode tonight was they asked Mike, or Mike was talking to them let's see, the other three. So it would be, whoever they were. Devin, Ashley, Chrissy, Devin, Chrissy, and Ryan, and Ashley. And he goes, I see Ben, and then I see Ashley. Really? Who's next? He doesn't say who's next. There's us four. Yeah, and who's the fourth? Who's the next one? I just thought that was funny. I enjoyed seeing.
He stopped short of saying, and then one of you.
Yes.
Here's another point. I haven't watched the Ponderosa, but who do we think is running the jury?
I think Joe.
I think Joe is irritating the jury.
But who?
He's fishing with Lauren. He and Lauren are crabbing.
But who in this group could be controlling the jury besides him? I mean, Ashley hadn't been there long enough. Lauren hadn't been there long enough.
I think Desi probably is.
Of all the people, she would be the only other one who could.
She seems like a pretty personable person.
Right.
And that, Joe might.
She's also a recruit. She doesn't have the survivor knowledge. So I don't know. I would wonder about that. I think she's a very likable person, easy to get along with, but I think somebody like Joe could easily manipulate a conversation.
Well, he can.
But Joe's like too much. Like he's the guy. He's like, yeah, we're going to vote for this one. All right. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but look who he's talking to. He's talking to Cole and JP.
Right.
I mean, dudes, bros, give them a drink and they're, dude, you're so right, dude.
I think Ashley will take it over.
I do too. I think she's got the time in the game, and I think she learned a lot from her vote out, and I think she's got a lot to say. I agree. I think Ashley will be a very good person to have in the Ponderosa.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these guys respect her, like JP and Cole.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have any enemies on the jury.
Mm-mm.
So she comes in with the knowledge, and she still cares, because the longer you're there, the less you really care. You're like, just get me home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she might revive that jury and guide them a little better than Joe. I'm not a fan of Joe,
right?
But only because he's a troll on the internet.
Well, yeah, I have noticed. I have noticed that. Do you? I don't remember if we've asked you this already. Do you like the new format for the final three? The jury format. So do I. David,
because what happened on my seasons is Jeff flies over and we all have to have a question and we meet about the question and what we're going to ask. And it's so contrived and it's so hard to sit there, after you've been sitting on the jury a while and come up with a question for three people you really don't care about and you already know who you're voting for,
Right.
So I like the free form. I think it's less redundant, less contrived. We don't get the, ridiculous speeches and
get a chance for more spontaneity.
We get a conversation that's not scripted. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
I am looking forward to that for sure. Part of the finale. I think that
Fader Girl in our chat room. Sorry. Fader Girl in our chat room has been watching all the Ponderosa. She says Joe. She says Desi and Joe, but Joe is the king of Ponderosa each video.
Well, there you go. We should have just asked Vader Girl.
Yeah.
Cass is like, not if I was there.
All this, well, no, she's the queen of Ponderosa. Are you kidding? Sheesh. All right.
Maybe Joe's better out of the game.
Yeah,
and off the internet.
Yeah, really. All right, here we go.
Everybody sit back. It's time for feedback. Our listeners have to say what's on their minds today. D&D will hear you. D&D will read you. D&D will take the time to take your lines, analyze, and feel you. It's feedback. Survivor Talk with D&D. Taking listener feedback, y'all. That's right.
All right. Well, first one we have is Kieran. Here we go.
Hey, it's Kieran from Maryland. When I saw the preview for this episode last week, I was like, nah, Ben's not going home. It's too obvious. On to this episode. Returning from Tribal Council, everyone minus Ben was pissed off that Ben played the idol. The next day, Ben starts looking for an idol, which is good. He had to do that because he was the main target. Chrissy and Devin won the Roar Challenge. They surprisingly picked Ryan. I'm actually shocked that Devin didn't pick Ashley. On the trip, they made a final 3 deal. Let's see if this works out. At camp, Ben continues to look for an idol, but Mike just assumes it's not there. Bad idea. You shouldn't do that. Chrissy wins immunity. While it appears that Ben's the main target, Chrissy wants to send Ashley home, and Ben manages to find the idol. This may be the first time where someone found the idol, but it wasn't shown. So he must have found the idol literally 10 seconds before Tribal Council, I would think. Just very last minute. During Tribal Council, Ben placed the idol before they cast the votes. I'm assuming he's doing that to cause chaos. I don't think he needed to do that. He could have just waited until after the votes were cast. He knew he was going to go, so why don't you just wait? Ashley surprisingly goes. I wonder why they went after Ashley. That was kind of weird. I thought Ashley was a GOAT, and from what I've heard in exit interviews, she wasn't really a threat. So I wonder why they went after Ashley. Why didn't they go after Devin? So that was weird. So next week's the finale, so one of these 5 is going to win. Right now, I think Ben has the best chance of winning. So far, he's the biggest threat. He's got the personal and emotional content and strategic content, so I think he's in the best chance to win. But he's going to have to win the next immunity challenge and the Final Four challenge. All right, there's been a lot of speculation about some Final Four twist. I'm not going to reveal what it is because I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's supposed to be pretty crazy. Right now, I think Ben has the best chance to win. The worst chance is by Chrissy. Chrissy is not liked at all. People do not like her. So I don't think Chrissy can win. So Chrissy could easily be the GOAT at the Final Tribal Council. You know what? I actually think there's going to be a tie at the Final Tribal Council because of what Jeff did during the Game Theories reunion show, like polling the jury for Brad and Ty and saying what would happen in the tiebreaker. I think that was foreshadowing a tie for this season. So I think there's going to be a tie in the jury votes, and the third place finisher is going to have to cast a deciding vote for the other 2. I think that's going to happen. So who do you think is going to win? And do you agree that the tie vote is going to happen at the Final Tribal Council? Well, that's it.
That was Kieran. Any comments about Kieran's?
I got a comment for why Ben played his idol early, but Andy Baker has a really good comment too, so I'll just wait till his feedback because he comments on that exact thing.
All right. That was Kieran. Next. Oh, go ahead, Cass. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, hey, Kieran, and I don't think that Game Changers foreshadowed this season because they were filmed a year apart. So I don't think the tiebreaker discussion, because Game Changers filmed a year before this,
right,
and was wrapped before they filmed this one,
right.
So just
there you go. And
just
Kieran,
I quash that possibility.
I also agree with Kieran that one of these 5 will win.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Mike's not winning.
Yeah, but one of the 5.
I'm going to go out on a bigger limb because I'm me and say Ryan's not winning.
Yeah, I think Chrissy could win, but I'm just hold out that hope. But she's probably getting mama seed right now, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where just people, for whatever reason, don't want to vote for her.
Yeah. All right, next we have Wendy from South Dakota.
Hey, Dwaine and David and all my Survivor buddies. I'm going to have to make this short and sweet because I'm short on time and I'm short on money. All I have to say is go Ben. I am firmly in his corner and rooting for him all the way. This is the last time I'm ever going to be able to call in on a D&D podcast. I am going to visit my dad in Florida, and we're flying out on the 20th, which is the day of the finale. So I don't even know when I'm going to get to see how this shakes out. But like I said, go Ben. D&D, I'm going to miss you. Take care.
Well, that was sad.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Oh, that was kind of sweet.
Wendy, they do have televisions in Florida. I've been there.
Oh, there you go, Wendy. You can watch it on television.
Or a computer.
Yeah. Well,
I actually watched it on my phone because I got home late last night and I had to clean the kitchen. So I just put it on my phone and watched it with my headphones.
yeah. When I was at Thanksgiving, I literally sat in a recliner with my headphones on and watched it on CBS All Access. And there you go. And it looked better than I would have thought. It was good.
I watch it live every week. I don't TiVo it or anything or DVR it because we don't have a DVR.
Cass, they sell these things called DVRs.
I have this thing called a life
And they
that I
have
don't
it,
like to contemplate, like having to binge watch things.
Well,
other than
no, I was going to say, wait a second. Okay, Stranger Things. How long did it take you to finish the second season?
I think 3 nights, maybe 3 or 4 nights.
All right, that surprises me. I thought you'd binged watched it.
I'm not allowed to watch it without Mr. Cass, and he has a day job. So,
okay,
and we don't like to watch it with the kids in the room.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about it, Davis and I had planned to watch it because my girls weren't home; they were still in school, and he had planned out the whole weekend when we would start. We would finish on Halloween night. That's when he wanted to finish it. So we're watching it, and Terry comes in the room to read her book while we're watching it, and she's just going to read her book. She just wants to spend time with us. By the end of the first episode, why did that happen? And who is that person? Well, if you go back, no, never mind. I don't want to know. I don't know. By the third episode, the book is closed in her lap, and she's asking more questions.
Yes.
By the 5th episode, there is no book.
Yeah.
And by the 6th episode, we went back and watched the last episode of season 1 to explain a few things going into this. Why is her hair different now? And by the end of episode 8, we were talking about, the second to last episode, Davis is like, do you want to just watch it on your phone at work during lunch and I'll just watch it at home? And then we watch, and Terry's like, no, you're watching it with me. We're watching it as a family. This is the woman that wasn't going to watch any of this and start reading a book. By the end, she was glued to it and couldn't stop watching it. She really enjoyed it.
Unfortunately, that's how I am when I walk in and my wife's watching a Hallmark Christmas movie. and I'm like, well, now what's going on there? And the next thing you know, I'm in my recliner just like, oh, they're going to fall in love.
No, I'm not allowed to talk because I'll start critiquing it.
Oh,
and she doesn't like when I critique it. So I just pull out Golf Clash and just start playing golf.
Yeah. Yeah. It is funny how we tolerate a whole lot less quality in a Hallmark Christmas movie than we do in any other movie we would watch. Because honestly, I actually really like them. I watch them a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Connie and I love to watch them. We're married.
Okay.
We like to watch romantic things occasionally.
We watch other things together. Okay.
All right. Anyway, Cass is like, y'all shut up. This is stupid.
I don't have cable TV, so like Hallmark is not on my radar.
There you go. All right. David's going to read Andy Baker, who's going to be on the show next week.
That's right. He said, hey there, David and Dwaine. By inviting me to hang out with you on the D&D finale night, you've shifted my status from casual to can't keep my mouth shut. As a result, I ended up talking about the most recent episode and the season with Durham Warrior Survival Challenge star and D&D player ranker extraordinaire Abby Ackerman for a couple of hours yesterday when we were both at the Mohegan Sun for a Survivor open casting call. While I got to tell the Survivor casting folks that I am the single greatest Survivor player who hasn't yet played their game, and I got to meet Joey Amazing and Suri, the best part of being there was hanging out with the woman who is destroying David in his power rankings. Yeah, for now. Anyway, I figured I would share a few of my thoughts on the episode with you guys. Forgive me if I end up being long-winded. So that was just the intro to his feedback.
Yeah.
My thoughts. Ben made the right move playing the auto when he did. With the other players clearly united in voting him out, Ben had to expect that they would split the votes in case he had an idol. So he had to play it no matter what. There's no scenario where he can keep it and use it at Final Five. Under these circumstances, the best thing he can do is sow the seeds of discord and turn everyone on each other. Playing the idol early accomplishes that. Yeah, so why sit down for another all Ben vote and he take out one person? Go ahead and let them start fighting early. So I do agree with that. I hope that if y'all want to comment on that, you can do it now if you want to.
I'm good.
I concur.
Okay.
I agree.
I hope that when they get back to camp, Ben starts talking openly about which of the Ryan, Chrissy, Devin Final Three alliance will get his vote and have Mike chime in too and speculate about how the jury will vote. Get the three, Ryan, Chrissy, and Devin, questioning their deal with each other. Right now, they all think they can beat each other. That's the only way that Final Three remains in balance. So rip that illusion away from them, tell them who is going to win, and see them battle with each other and themselves. Mike has zero chance to win this game. He's delusional. His idol play was good. He's lost perspective, if he ever had it. More importantly, the other players don't respect him. For example, Lauren trashing him to his wife at the loved one's visit and no one contradicting her, either out loud or non-verbally. Ashley wasn't going to win the game either. She was seen as a goat. She's gone because Chrissy and Devin didn't want to compete with her in the final two immunity challenges, at least one of which tends to have a significant physical element. These players really don't like Chrissy. Combine that with the edit showing us her less than flattering moments, and we've got her set up as Dawn Meehan redo. She's going to get crushed at Final Tribal. While I get annoyed with the psychology underlying the cultural assumptions around social roles, we see their impact on Survivor season after season. Specifically, gender and age play a significant role in what games people are allowed to play and have them respected by the other castaways. The aggressive, hyper-strategic, and at times confrontational type of game that Chrissy is playing is frowned on when played by the mother. I suspect she's going to face a fair bit of shaming at Final Tribal Council, and if that happens, it will, to one degree or another, be connected to her gender, age, and status as a mom. Any comment on that,
100%. I've been saying that for years. Yep. I still think it's the hardest role to play is the mom on Survivor.
Speaking of Final Tribal Council, we haven't been shown a lot of Final Three deal talk until this episode. When production delays like that, as they did in Second Chances when Tasha, Jeremy, and Spencer finally spoke about it, we have to pay attention when we finally see it. I think Ben and Mike are the next two to go, and that Devin gets the win over Chrissy and Ryan. And this is true for Game Changers too, because apparently Sarah Culpepper and Troyzan made their final deal at their reward, which we didn't get to hear. So it kind of
I think they made it pre-game, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Much like Tasha and Spencer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, it moves on. Historically, the jury gives the title to the player who played the best. Historically, the jury gives the title to 1, the player who played the best, 2, the player they like the best, 3, the player they're cool with having lost to / having defined their season / appearing in the center of the DVD cover. I don't think this jury is cool with that player being Chrissy or Mike. They could tolerate Ryan, but he'd have to be sitting with Chrissy and Mike. They want to give the title to Ben, but that's why he won't get there. Barring some challenge wins, and once they hear his Final Tribal Council argument, where he can take credit for choosing this particular Final Three alliance and claim big moves like creating the Ben as a spy plan, they'll be cool with Devin as one. Okay, so I went from Ben to Devin. So he's talking about Devin, where he says, once they hear his Final Tribal argument, where he can take credit for choosing this particular Final Three alliance and claim big moves like creating the Ben as a spy plan, they'll be cool with Devin as 1, a player, 2, someone they like, and 3, having him be their winner because he isn't Fabio. He's the only one that checks all 3 boxes. That's it for now, D&D. See you on the Googles next week, AB. So he's thinking Devin's going to pull out as the winner.
Well, I don't think anybody really thinks about who's going to be on the DVD cover or who's representing their season. I've never thought that as a juror or a contestant. I never, when playing, was like, I can't believe Tony Vlachos is going to be the face of our season. It never occurred to me while playing, that would happen. So I would take that factor out, but I agree on the other two. I guess I just want Chrissy to win because I want the stereotype to be broken. And I think if she went with Devin and Mike, I think she would get a vote or two if she presents herself properly. And just says, look, I did this and I did that and I got Devin to do this. And
if they can respect good gameplay and she can be social even in the conversation at Final Tribal, then she could win it. But she's got to be somebody
a little less professional.
Yes.
She can't talk like she does at camp.
Right.
She's got to be more empathetic and say, look, I did this because of this. I don't know. I mean, what are you trying to do at Final Tribal? You're trying to make your case, but at the same time, you're not trying to demean the people you want to vote for you.
It's not a business meeting.
Right. And she may fail in that aspect. She might say, look, I did that. There's a fine line in how you present things to the jury. And, hopefully if she gets there, I would hope she could tone it down. And
it's like, here are the facts. You have no other option but to vote for me or you're idiots.
That's not going to go over. Like, she's going to have a little humility. And I mean, I've thought about what I would say, when you think you might make it to the end. And in Cagayan, I was certainly planning to be super, like, you did this and that was great. And that gave me the opportunity, how you phrase it.
Right.
I was thinking a lot about that.
Do you think honesty plays a big part?
She's thinking
I like what Adam's thought was when he was talking to Jay. As in, dude, I love you and I love working with you, but I couldn't beat you. I mean, that's the most honest thing you could say to somebody. Was honesty going to be a big part of yours, or were you going to try and bluff them with making them feel like they did well until you had to vote them out?
Well, I was in a different position because nobody ever liked me on my season. I never had an alliance. So I didn't have this card to play where I was like, oh, we were like besties. People were pretty darn rotten to me out there most of the game. So
Sarah came to you and then you voted her out. So.
Well, Sarah was throwing my name around too and telling everyone I was going to go next. So, I mean, it's everyone comes to everyone at some point.
And then we heard Jatia wanted to work with you, and then you told her she was going to go next. So
Jatia's pregnant again she's going to have a baby boy in March.
Oh,
so she has a daughter.
Yeah. We had her on the show, didn't we? I think
you did.
Yeah, because you told her we'd be a good podcast to go on. I think.
I don't think I was on that show.
I think she did did something with you guys.
Yeah, she did because...
And she doesn't do them. She doesn't do any.
Mm-mm. She did.
She's not even watching this season.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right, next we have Miriam, a.k.a. Vader Girl, who's in the chat room. So here we go.
Hey, Dave and Dwaine, and the beautiful, fierce Kass McQuillen. Love you, girl. Go Navy. This is Miriam, a.k.a. Vader Girl, calling from Everett, Washington. I'm going to try and leave a quick question tonight. I'm just so happy Kass is on the show. Chaos Kass, you rule. I'm going to really miss you, Dave and Dwaine. Thank you guys so much for everything. So this question is actually for Kass. So great guest tonight for this question. My question is this. Regarding Chrissy, what is it about female characters who are 30 years plus on Survivor where they are smart, fierce, independent, winning, actually in control of the game, in control of their own minds, beautiful, in shape, like you, Kass, where there is some hate from other contestants, there's hate on social media, and these negative stereotypes. I don't understand why Chrissy is getting so much hate, especially calling her anti-women and all the stuff that they've been calling her, like the 4 females that went out that all gave negative press about her, which, by the way, was kind of a spoiler because Captain Avi, Chrissy was going to go deep in the game or they wouldn't be talking about her and she would have been a non-MF factor. But I digress. Anywho, What is your opinion, Cass, on why this kind of negative talk, gossip, hate happens with these strong female characters who are winning immunities, controlling the votes, brilliant, Vulcan-minded? Why do they get so much hatred? Why is there this negative stereotype? I think Chris is amazing. Cass, I think you are amazing. You guys have minds like a steel trap. I think women like you should be more celebrated. And I just think it's time to get beyond this kind of hatred. I mean, it's not cool. Chrissy deserves as much respect as anybody else. If she was a man making these moves, she wouldn't be getting this hatred. Anyways, love you guys. May the force be with you. Eat lots of kale. Black cats are the best pets. Bye. Hey, anybody watching Star Wars enjoy? Please don't give me a spoiler. Bye, guys.
Well, that was to you, Cass. So would you like to respond?
All right, Vader girl. I am super excited to see Star Wars this weekend. So anyway, I think about this a lot because obviously I'm pretty vocal on this subject and have been my entire Survivor career. I think it boils down to nobody likes to be told what to do, and they've cast all these alpha types on Survivor, men and women. And most of us really don't like to be told by our mothers what to do when we're adults, right?
Right.
We see moms as kind of like, oh God, mom, shut up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was expecting Miriam to answer you. How weird was that?
Yeah.
I was like, Miriam, are you going to answer?
I mean, I think that's part of it. And no matter what happens when you're out there, Chrissy could be like Devin's mom or Ryan's mom. I mean, you run into this thing where you could actually be these people's mom or their friend's mom or whatever. And unfortunately, moms are often just discounted outside of their own family or even within their own family. And I think that just carries over. And the older woman on Survivor, we're not allowed to tell anybody that we did anything great. Just like you don't want to hear how great your mom, your mom doesn't sit around and go, man, I did your laundry so well forever. She's like, I think there's just this stigma. And it's because of how we're raised and just the whole social order where you see it in every aspect that the older woman is just, discounted, and we're not allowed to be, respected when we make decisions and things. I also think Chrissy is very clinical, as I've said, and, her delivery as a professional, I get it. I can see her working in her office environment and things. And she's not used to dealing with the Devons and the Ryans and the JPs of the world, and it becomes harder. So I think it's hard for the mom. I just think it's a social problem. So I would love to see, we still have never had an over 40 woman win except Denise. And she was beat two people older than her, and one of Scoopin and Lisa. So,
right.
We have yet to see that strong older woman come through and beat competitors,
Yeah. Well, there you go, Vader girl. So, you got your answer. Vader girl likes you.
I think this happened to Mama's. Yeah. So it's hard not to.
Yeah. It's hard not to like your answer. It's hard to be humble. No. It's hard to be humble when you're Cass. So.
It's hard, yeah.
All right, here we go. Next we have Will the Giant Ninja. And I just want to tell you, Will, for your penultimate feedback, you gave me a lot of work to do, buddy. So hope you enjoy it. Here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. So as it turns out, we are down to only 2 episodes of Survivor Talk with D&D left. And I know you guys have a special guest tonight. I can't remember who it is. I know 2 weeks ago you had Jessica Lewis, who was rocked out. And I know last week you had Kelly Wentworth, who was a rock star. So I assume it has something else to do with rocks. Maybe Rocky? I don't know. I can't remember. So a few weeks ago, we tried the Newlywed Game version 2.0 as a callback to Cagayan and it didn't really go over as well. It seemed that David wasn't as in tune with the way I was thinking as he has been in the past. So we're going to try it one more time as a homage to the past. And to keep your guest of honor involved, we'll throw some questions to the guest as well. But obviously the guest doesn't know me and how I think nearly as well as David does. So to make it a little bit more fair, the guest is going to get some trivia questions, some fill-in-the-blank trivia questions, and David's going to get some traditional newlywed game matches. Dwaine, as always, I will take a break and let you pause the action to get the answers from David and your mystery guest, whoever it is. David and the guest will both get 5 questions. Whoever gets more right wins the game, and I will let you know what we're playing for after the game has been completed. So here we go. Let's get it on. Question 1 for David. David, the tribe made a mistake this week. They should have voted out blank. The tribe made a mistake this week. They should have voted out blank. And again, David, you are trying to match my answer.
Yeah, I was going to emphasize that, David. This is not your answer. This is, what do you think Will's answer is?
So for the record, we've never met. We've never gone out. We've never dated. We have no other than online relationship. So me missing these questions is more understandable.
And also, you and Cass are competing. Whoever gets the most correct wins the game.
All right. So what was the question again?
They picked the wrong person. The right person to be voted out should have been blank.
Oh, Devin.
All right.
Well, if that's what he would say. Yeah.
So you think he would say Devin. Here we go.
My answer, they should have voted out Devin. No question
David.
about it. Instead of taking out a big threat, they took out the least threatening player available. Big mistake. Okay, and question 1 for your mystery guest. In Cagayan, the winner of the Final Four Immunity Challenge was blank. In Cagayan, the winner of the Final Four Immunity Challenge was blank.
Spencer.
Who was it, Cass? Who was it?
Tony.
I think it was not Spencer, not Tony, and not Woo. So whoever was left.
That would be you.
I don't like to speak of myself in the third person. I got to take some more lessons from Culpepper, Monica.
Well, say me then.
Yes, Chaos Kass.
Or you could just say me. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
My answer, the winner was Kass McQuillen. Hope we got it right. Question number 2 for David. Here we go. David, the next player to be voted out of this game will be blank. The next player to be voted out of this game will be blank.
So who does Will think the next player to be voted out will be?
Probably. I don't think it's going to be Ben.
Mike.
I don't think it's going to be Devin either. I think it's going to be Mike. I don't think it'll be Ryan or Chrissy. I think Ryan or Chrissy are looking more like the end game now. So I'd say Mike.
All right. Let's see. What number am I on? 4? Keep track.
My answer, the next player to be voted out will be Dr. Mike. Chrissy and Ryan
David.
are not turning on each other. Question 2 for your mystery guest. The puzzle from that Final Four Immunity Challenge currently belongs to blank.
Stop.
The puzzle from that Final Four Immunity Challenge at Cagayan currently belongs to blank.
Spencer? No. Me, yeah.
Yeah, all
It's here
right.
in my house.
Well, let's see what he says. Let's see if you agree with him.
Trick question.
I have a feeling that
also
answers
belongs
are always
to
going to
Kass
be.
I'm sorry, what? What?
I think the answer is always going to be me
I don't know.
to my questions.
It's almost like he actually knows who the guest is. Let's see.
Trick question. It also belongs to Kass McQuillen. Cass
She
bought
said
it
me.
at an auction and
That's not
keeps it at her house. I bet you didn't know that. Okay, back to David. David, blank will win this game. And I'm talking about Survivor, not the game we're playing right now. Blank will win this game.
Well, if there is a Final Four twist the way it is, and Sergeant Ben gets into the Final Four, Ben's going to win this game.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Number 6.
My answer has not changed. Ben will win this game.
Way to go, David.
I know you got that one right, brother. Question number 3 for our mystery guest. I'm going to change it up a little bit. No more Cagayan. We're going to go to Cambodia.
Second chances.
The first member of the jury in Survivor Cambodia was blank. The first member of the jury
Chaos
in
Kass.
Survivor Cambodia
McQuillen.
was
If
blank.
we were dating, we'd be breaking up right now.
All right, for the record, Cass said Cass, so here we go.
Tried to trick you again. Again, it's Cass. Cass was the first member of the jury in Cambodia.
He is exceeding the
if
time
you got
limit on
that
this
one right.
program.
How are we doing so far, mystery guest? Back to David. Question 4 for David. The player from this season most likely to return is blank. The player from this season most likely to return is blank.
All right, that's harder because there's several I think that will return, but if Ben wins, how soon would he return as a winner? Because I think it's more possible for someone to return as a non-winner. Because I think Joe will return. I think Devin could return. Gosh, I'll say Ben because I think Ben will return.
And that's what you think he's going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know he likes Ryan, but I don't think Ryan will survive another game.
All right, here we go.
Tried to trick you again. Again, it's Cass.
Sorry.
My answer?
Oh, I know the
player
answer.
most likely to return is Joe Mena. And I can't wait to see him play again.
Oh.
I love Joe. Question
He was one of my
4
favorites.
for our mystery guest. The last player before Lauren to get idled out with only 1 vote cast against them was Andrew Savage. When Andrew Savage got back to Ponderosa, he was greeted with a glass of wine and a smile by blank. When Andrew Savage got back to Ponderosa, he was greeted with a glass of wine and a smile by blank.
All right, Cass.
Yes, Cass.
Oh wow, you're beating David 4-3. Just letting you
How many
know.
questions
Ooh, I
are there?
have a feeling.
All right, David. Here's your next one. Oh, I don't remember what number I'm on. I guess 9.
That's right.
5.
He was greeted by Cass, the queen of Ponderosa, the queen who deserves our respect and our homage. Question 5 for David. David, the best player who didn't make the merge this season was blank. The best player who didn't make the merge from this season was blank.
I don't think he'll say Simone.
Allie.
Simone.
Yeah, I was going to say Allie. I was going to build up to that, but yeah, I think Allie's the best player who didn't make the merge. In
I
fact,
just want to
wouldn't
end
mi-
this misery.
I wouldn't
Oh,
have seen her come back.
here we go. Will, you have bored Cass. All right, here we go.
My answer, Allie, and it's not even close. Question
Agreed.
5 for our mystery guest. I love me some blank. I love me some blank.
All right. Here,
Do I have
Me.
to say it?
no, okay. Just okay. Obviously, we know Cass knows this. She remembers you
Cass.
well. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Now,
Yeah.
so now he's going to tell us because you beat David 5-4. Now he's going to tell us what the prize is.
My answer, I love me some Cass. Well, that's all I've got. I wonder who won. Oh, the winner gets my undying love and affection and admiration. The loser has to podcast about Survivor for 3 more seasons. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
You have to admit it was creative and fun.
Lovely.
Yeah,
I'm filing a
It was
protest.
creative.
yeah, it was creative. you have to admit it was creative and fun. It was creative. All right. Let's
Thanks,
see.
Will.
Yes, Will. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks for not making them too tough. Those are much more manageable questions.
All right, next we have Gwen from Santa Barbara. She is in the chat room. Hello, D&D and K. David, listen. Can you hear the bells? Does that make sense to you, David? Not entirely sure if you would get that reference. So here we go. Anyway, I wrote a song just for our favorite llama, Kass. She wrote a song for you, Kass.
Awesome.
And I get to sing it. Kass McQuillen had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And I feel really stupid doing this. And on that farm, she had a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with an idol over here. No one's looking over there. Grab it fast. Early play. Christy thinks I'm dramatic. Kass McQuillen had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Can I just read it from now on?
Was that?
No, there's more. Okay. And on that farm, she had a stallion, E-I-E-I-O. Ashley thought that he was whipped when she missed out on reward. Plays it dumb like Fabio. That is not an advantage. Kass McQuillen had a farm. And on that farm, she had a duck with dysfunction over here. Joe Del Campo over there. Doctor's in. He can win. Mike is the last healer. Kass McQuillen had a farm. And on that farm, she had an ostrich, had an idol in his pants. Wow. On that farm, she had an ostrich, had an idol in his pants, but he's never got a date. Where'd he go? He's purple. Ryan makes more metaphors. Kass McQuillen had a farm, and on that farm, she had a goat. 5 times 7's 35. How'd she do that math so fast? She hates Ben. Once him out, she will break the final tie. Kass McQuillen had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Kass, I hope you liked my song. Also, llamas are my favorite animal. So, obviously, I am not in Santa Barbara right now, but hopefully returning soon. How is that obvious? I do not know that.
Because of the fires.
Oh, sorry. I don't watch the news.
Hey, Gwen, thanks for that song. Don't quit your day job.
Yeah, really.
Hope you're safe in Santa Barbara. I'm actually from Ventura, so I'm well apprised of what's going on in our homeland there, and know a lot of people have lost homes. So stay safe.
Yeah, really. Okay, so Gwen is upset with me because I didn't sing the whole thing. Well, you know, Gwen, I sang the first part, and I felt like an idiot. So I decided to say the rest, and Kass was okay with that. Weren't you, Kass?
Well, I think Gwen just proved why marijuana is legal in California. So I know sometimes I was in Santa Barbara that, those kind of things were happening. So maybe that helped with this song.
Yeah. All right. So Gwen, you are wrong. She was happy. She does like it. Paso whatever that is.
Robles?
Yes.
Paso Robles?
Paso Robles out.
Is that where she's?
I don't know. Gwen from Santa Barbara. It's like every single.
Well, that's where all the people in Santa Barbara went to when they evacuated. It's like on the other side of the hill.
I don't think I have done Gwen's feedback justice yet. So we need to let David read it next time. So
as long as it's not a song.
I know. David was supposed to do that one, Gwen, and he gave it up. He did not do it. All right, that's our feedback. If you want to be a part of our feedback segment.
You just don't want to be the most hated one, do you?
No. On our last episode, ladies and gentlemen, our last episode of Survivor Talk with D&D is next week. Did I mention it's our last episode? So if you want to be a part of it, leave a feedback. Do so before 7 o'clock Eastern time next Thursday, and you can be a part of that. I do want to thank our D&D patrons. It's because of you that the show will stay on iTunes and the website will stay up and things like that. Couldn't do it without you, so thank you very much. And we are going to do some rewind fast forwards, and we are going to do some movie talks, just not right away. So there you go. And we may even have Kass on for one of them. Stranger Things would be awesome.
Yeah, you guys. Thanks for being great podcasters. You guys have been on my whole journey with me.
That's true.
So,
yes, we have.
It's
Yeah.
cool. And you were always like the nice guys.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate that.
We don't hate anybody. We love everybody. We just don't like production all the time. But otherwise.
Well, don't take away from us being nice to Kass, because lots of people hated Kass. My wife was like, "Why do you like Kass?" It's like, because I do. She's doing a great job. I love.
She's got personality. She's making me laugh, and she's playing the game.
Yeah, it was great.
It really bothers me to see people so angry at Chrissy this season because, and I've reached out to her and just said, don't even listen because it is out there and
Yeah.
People are very unforgiving, and the internet is
People are just
really a cesspool.
horrible. People
Yeah.
are horrible to one another.
So,
Man.
and you go through it yourself, and and then you watch someone else, and you're just like, wow, that is just, it's brutal. People are brutal.
Yeah.
And for no reason. It's a TV show.
Right.
It's a game.
That's right. I just can't imagine being under that scrutiny. And I mean, every part of me would not want to read it, but then there'd be that part of me that wanted to read it, even though I don't want to read it because it would be.
Yeah, you would read it. Everybody does, even though you say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." You do and you remember all the bad stuff, and that's just human nature.
Well,
so it's unfortunate she has to go through this.
Yeah. Well, we hope you remember our good stuff and other people's good stuff too. There was other people that gave you good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
that's good.
No, it's been fun. It's been real.
Well, thank you for being on our show tonight. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm sad you guys are going off the air. So
yeah,
but I understand.
Yeah, it's time. David's forcing me.
Just when I got my fancy microphone from Rob.
I know, Rob. You go on once and he gives you a fancy microphone. Now, no one's ever going to want to be on our show because we don't give out fancy microphones. But we use the one Rob gave you. I don't have any problem doing that. There you go.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, you guys have a nice holiday season and enjoy the finale.
That's right. So we're going to say bye to everybody that's watching live, and then we'll say goodbye to Cass on our own. And so thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas coming up, and we'll see you next week for our final episode. See ya.
See ya.